Greetings and welcome to another edition of AUHSD Future Talks. I'm your host, the Superintendent Michael Matsuda. And as our 8,000 listeners know, this show is all about the future of education with all of its challenges ahead and all of the changes that are going on in education. I'm really proud that AUHSD is one of the national leaders in transforming education. Today we have some amazing guests, mother and child uh, guests in our school system, uh, Brandyn and Carol West. Welcome. And Carol, Carol's the mom, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and Brandyn, and then we'll have Brandyn share a little bit about herself too.
Well, I am a parent in the AUHSD school program and a proud parent at that. Um, I am on a daily basis, I'm a voice artist. It's what I do for a living. And I think one of the great things is the program that my daughter has chosen through AUHSD is CVA, which is a virtual learning program. And because I get to work from home and she gets to do school from home, it's sort of a great sort of synergy here with us. So I'm excited that we get afforded that opportunity through AUHSD, and some great things are happening for her.
Fantastic, Brandyn. So what a team, mother and daughter team here. But tell us a little bit about your approach to school. What do you think schools is all about?
For me, I think school is all about using what is being taught and applying that to what you do every day. Like if you're learning math and maybe learning about algebra, how can you apply that to maybe some kind of job or things you see every day? Um, if you're learning English, how can I apply that to maybe writing a book that I've always dreamed about writing? Just applying that knowledge to everyday things.
So what I really like about your story and your mom's story as well is you're really taking advantage of some of the cutting edge transformation that's going on in education and certainly going on in AUHSD, this Cambridge Virtual Academy, as well as taking advantage of the AIM program, the Anaheim Innovative Mentoring Experience. So we're going to talk about all three, kind of going back and forth between Cambridge Virtual Academy, the Film Academy, and Kindset. So let's start with talking just a little bit about CVA, Cambridge Virtual Academy. You guys know that the pandemic, it forced districts and schools to switch on a dime. And for a lot of people, it wasn't very effective, right, going into the virtual world. But Cambridge is different. Cambridge, we were very, very fortunate to have teachers who said, sign me up, I want to learn more about online learning. And they were more focused on engagement, right? Engagement of students and trying to create communities. Brandyn, from a student's perspective, do you think that they're successful in creating an engaging community at Cambridge online?
Definitely. In terms of like especially engaging, they do a really good job at that because we are virtual, so communication is a lot, it can seem a lot harder, but the teachers are doing really good at making an effort to make sure that we're all communicating, to make sure that we can all collaborate, and all the assignments and everything we do is honestly really engaging. I enjoy it a lot.
So a lot of people, Brandyn, are concerned or critical of online learning in that you're not getting a development and collaboration or social emotional learning. Do you feel that that's not true, or that you are getting more opportunities to connect with other students and the world around you? Do you feel that you're getting that at Cambridge?
Yeah. Honestly, they prioritize a lot of group work, a lot of activities where can connect, like discussion boards, or sometimes honestly even using a simple app like Minecraft Education where we can all work in the same world just to kind of connect with each other, see different skills. I mean, I definitely feel the social connection.
And as a
Carol,
parent, I will say too, they foster for the kids who are in this program that are local, they foster so many in-person touch points for them to connect with other kids their age. She's on so many different auxiliaries, raising, what is it? The Raising Student Voice,
RSVP.
RSVP. She's a part of she's the leader of her esports team, and they have in-person things and tournaments. And there's just so many opportunities where they actually do come into the facility for certain things as well. I mean, though it is predominantly online, they do not miss a beat in connecting with other kids their age.
Carol, do you feel as a mom that this is the way to go in terms of preparing young people, your daughter, for the future workplaces and the future of college and careers?
Absolutely. We have discovered this year, as a matter of fact, um, she's had an opportunity to be um, counseled by some people in the field of work that she's looking to go into. And they're constantly talking about how basically at her next stage of education, the way education is going is that you can almost tailor make it to the needs of the student. And by being in CVA and learning some of the techniques she's learned there, I think this is setting her up just perfectly for that next stage in higher education in her case. Um, and I think that it is the wave of the future. But I will say this, the pandemic, for all its downfall, taught us some lessons. And that is, it's not one size fit all. Yes, it needs to be equitable, but every child has different needs and different ways that they learn. I know a lot of kids didn't do well in the pandemic. Mine discovered, hey, I love doing it this way because I get to deeply explore certain topics that I wouldn't get to in a pressured, a more time pressured situation in a classroom. So I think there's so much room for seeing the positive in virtual learning after, at least for us, what we learned after that.
On just taking an example of that, um, Brandyn, you were talking about your math class and Mr. Kim. Could you go share with the audience a little bit more about virtual learning in a math class and why you think that's pretty good?
So, virtual learning in a math class probably would seem complicated. And it is, because, I mean, honestly, I've been here since seventh grade. So is my math teacher. But progressing to now, it's been a lot different. And now we've gotten to the point where we have lab hours and we can communicate with him. But he's encouraged us a lot to try to use even our own critical thinking skills and use resources we have at home, such as AI, which is ChatGPT, Copilot, or anything else that you may use, to help us in math and like help us dive deeper into understanding.
And what about the coding for the AI bot you were doing?
And I he wanted a student to help code a class AI bot for our class, so he asked me if I would create the code for a chatbot to help aid us in our class based off of what I noticed about how different students learn.
It's
I just
kind
get
of
so amazed at that.
mind blowing, Carol, what our kids are learning. I'm really proud of your daughter and the teacher and all the teachers at CVA. Let's shift over to the Summer Film Academy. What was that all about, Brandyn? And what drew you to the Film Academy?
What drew me to the Film Academy originally was just my interest in film. I mean, my mom, of course, as a voiceover, kind of drew me into learning the inner workings like of the entertainment industry or even just certain skills you need to know. So, some of the things we did was learning how to film, of course. I mean, that's in the name, Film Academy. We used cameras, we learned editing skills, we learned all the people you needed just to make one film, how like 1 hour of recording turns into 1 week of editing. Um, and so I definitely built my editing skills up a lot. I got to just learn the nuances of film and a bunch of different things. I made a lot of different connections as well.
That is awesome because and I know your mom is so aware of how big the whole social media world is, and you talk about all kinds of jobs and opportunities in that field. I'm just proud that you had that experience. And what are you listed some of the takeaways, but what are some other takeaways you can think about in terms of being part of this film academy?
Um, a takeaway I got was, of course, that, gosh, I gotta
Well,
think.
you had touched on your networking and meeting different people.
Networking.
You were able to go to some interesting places, right, on some of the field trips and things. Where did you go?
Um, one of the places we went to, so we were separated in different groups, at least during the summer part, when we were in person. And we went to a place called Higher Ground. And they do a lot of different things like for the community. The founder of the program himself was also happened to be a film major, so he was really interested to see what Film Academy was about. And so we kind of made connections with even local businesses that we would film for. I made a connection with one of the teachers at Film Academy, which was Mr. Olmedo. And he said, hey, we're looking for a few students to do a project throughout the year. So that connection ended up leading me to doing documentary film work
Oh my goodness.
for for Ocean Academy, which is a part of the South Junior High School program thing. And so they had
Wow.
that during the school year too. And it was fun to be a part of that experience. That led to a bunch more connections of people in that group, but it's just like a whole chain of meeting different people.
So these types of opportunities are opening what I call the aperture of life, right? You're opening to all different possibilities and learning how to network and make those connections. So this past summer, in fact, that's when I met you and your mom, was your involvement with Kindset, in another mentoring and internship opportunity with the district. Could you tell us a little bit about Kindset?
Yes. So Kindset is about learning the basics of business. So everything you need to make a startup business, everything about entrepreneurship, all the way to running a business like Costco, which is completely different from um a place like even Stater Brothers. Like they're just one is large scale, one can be smaller scale, but they all have very specific things that need to be implemented in order to start a business. We learned about teamwork, how important it is to have all kinds of people to market your business, to gather the materials to start your business. And we also learned certain words that are important to know when starting your business. So, one word I took away, especially, was KPIs, which is a key performance indicator. And that teaches you, I guess, like how your business is doing is kind of in the name, key performance indicators. So, what are some things that would show you how your business is performing? Like, what would you need to do? Do you need to boost up marketing? Do you need to maybe lower your prices on things? So, there's a lot of different useful
I mean,
things that.
a lot of adults don't know what KPI is. You just like threw that out there, and it's like, oh my goodness. So, really, really proud of you. You're only 15.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't imagine, Carol, where your daughter's headed. What are your college aspirations or aspirations after high school? What do you want to do?
Okay, so this is my favorite thing to talk about. Um, I really want to become a sound engineer when I get older, or audio engineer. Um, and the college that I want to go to is called Cal State Dominguez Hills. I actually ended up meeting the person who kind of changed the whole curriculum from what the sound program used to be to a newer version that's even more like inclusive, more engaging. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that would be. Sound programs are really hard to find because you're either going to find them at a CSU or a private school. So two different things. But yeah, I really want to become a sound engineer, particularly in music, because that's where I started off doing it in church. And maybe even go up to movies or creating things that have sound, just different things.
The sky's the limit, right, Carol?
Absolutely. She is, let me tell you, again, she goes to a virtual school. So guess what I got to do with her last year when I went to my voiceover conference? She comes, she goes to her classes, she meets me downstairs for sessions. She learned, you guys have taught her in the Film Academy how to work a room. She ends up talking herself into, now she's doing a documentary film for the National Association of Voice Actors in October. For their third year, this sort of milestone, some great things that they've accomplished. But she did that all on her own. That wasn't mom standing over her shoulder. It was her coming back saying, hey, by the way, I met this lady, and
I love it. I love it. You are truly on your way. And that's why I was so impressed in just the short time that we met at the AIM event. And we're just so proud of you. And proud of your mom, too, for really committing to AUHSD and believing in our vision, because you're really benefiting from that, right? And we want to continue to follow your journey. So any final words for Brandyn, for other students or parents that listen to the show about AUHSD? Why come to AUHSD? And because there's so many other districts out there.
You should come to AUHSD because they have a lot of, they're always doing something new. Like, you can speak to any teacher, any leader, even our superintendent, as you can see, about like things you want to see in the district, and they're really good at implementing those things. So I'm sure some students at one point said, hey, we want to see a program for film. You have Film Academy. We want to learn how to start a business. You have Kindset. Also CVA, their pathway, well, our pathway is entrepreneurship. So each school has their own pathway as well. So if you're interested maybe in a certain career or learning how to do something, the schools all have something that can be related to any interest pretty much.
You know, this interview is a key performance indicator of how we're doing. I love that word. Thank you so much, ladies, on behalf of our 25,000 students. You are the future, and we're very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Matsuda.